Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to create phase one, the first few steps of your collage version of your propaganda poster. First we need to gather some collage materials. I raided our recycling bin, got some old boxes of cereal, some envelopes, junk mail, magazines. I'm using a piece of cardboard as my basis, again from the recycling bin, and I'm gathering things like scissors, white glue, Elmer's glue, a cheap brush, a little jar of water to wash out my brush with. And I'm starting by creating my background layer. Okay, so you can see here I'm painting glue onto the cardboard first, and then I'm sticking down the pieces of paper that are going to serve as my background. And then quite often what I'm doing is gluing back over top of those pieces of paper. Okay, you have to paint glue under and over those pieces of paper to get them to stick well. I have my iPad showing the finished version of my digital poster, so I have kind of a guide to work with. All right. And then secondly, I want you to keep this in mind. When you're making a collage version of your project, it's going to be a very different look than your digital version because it's a very different process. So use that digital version as a guide, but not as the Bible. It's not the end-all be-all. Okay, it's a brand new project you're making. It's important to work in layers. I'm building layers of paper. That means pieces of paper are sitting on top of each other in order to make this background and for the rest of my project. Okay, so I finish off my background, and now it's time to start making the focal point of my poster, which is the coffee cup. So think about what the focal point of your poster is, what the main object is, and you'll want to start creating that. And as you see, I'm using multiple pieces of paper to make that coffee cup. I'm making the coffee cup as a separate object, and then eventually I'm going to glue that down onto my poster background. Okay, you don't have to stick with just collage. I want this to be mainly collage, but sometimes to add texture, you can use things like paint, ink, or other hand-applied materials to create some texture. In that case, I used an ink pad and a fingerprint to make kind of the steam that rises out of the coffee cup. Before I start to glue my coffee cup down, I'm going to add a border around it so I can have some emphasis so it doesn't blend into the background. And also, I'm going to make a shadow for that coffee cup, which was part of my original digital version. The coffee cup's looking pretty good. All right, so before I glue that down though, let's make the shadow. This is made out of a bunch of torn pieces of paper, different colors, okay, different types of paper. And I'm going to glue those things down before I glue my coffee cup down. Okay, so we'll kind of jump in here and get all those things glued down. I'm using angles to show that shadow is projecting out towards the bottom of the poster, out away from the coffee cup. All right, and as I start to finish up that shadow, now it's time to glue my coffee cup down. Again, layers. Build things that go underneath of an object first, and then glue that object down on top. Next up, I'm going to make some text. The only word I'm going to make right now in this phase of our project is my main word, which is the word values. In this case, I'm using the X-Acto knife to cut out each letter, but scissors work just fine as well. Okay, you may find that you want to cut letters out from advertisements and things. That's fine as well. And now to glue it down, I'm applying glue to the back of each letter and gluing them down to the poster. You can see I started with my first letter and last letter of the word values. That's so I knew the boundary within which my word needed to fit. Okay, now that I've got that glued down, pretty happy with how that looks, but I think it needs more emphasis, a way to draw people's eyes to the word values. And so I'm cutting little color triangles and pointing them in at the word. That's not something that existed on my original poster, but remember, this is a completely different interpretation of your poster. It's a brand new art object. So you do not have to stick with what you did on your first poster. This is phase one. We'll do multiple phases, and I'll give you more instruction and more videos as the collage poster continues to develop. All right, good luck.